Good evening, friends. Welcome back to my channel Infinite Trade. My name is Robin, and let's do a Nifty and Bank Nifty analysis. So, since this is a weekend, so we usually do a weekly analysis to understand what's happening in Nifty and Bank Nifty. So, before we begin the weekly analysis, just wanted to discuss on the longer time frame how Nifty and Bank Nifty looks. So, let's quickly check that out. If you look at my chart, so these are basically the Elliott Wave that I have drawn on a monthly time frame. So starting from the low that was made during the COVID period till the all-time high that Nifty made somewhere here. So Elliott Wave, I hope some of you all know this. So basically, this is the impulsive wave. Okay, so until the wave 5, and then we have the corrective wave A, B, C. So A is done, B is done, so the C is under formation. Okay, so after this C formation is done, then a new impulsive wave begins. So again you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that's how the market moves. And if you look at so Nifty, so the C wave, the corrective wave, ideally it should take support at this point. Okay, so what is that point? So the low is 14,155. Okay, 14,155. So this video can be a bit longer because I'm covering the overall structure of the market along with data, and also we'll be doing weekly analysis and intraday. So in case if it gets too big, I may make a separate video on the intraday levels. So let's see how it works. We have just crossed 2 minutes. If we can fit it within 20 minutes, we'll continue with that. So based on the Elliott Wave theory, it should come back until 14,155, but not necessary that every time the exact figure would be tested. But in this case, 14,366 is an important level because this is the Fibonacci level of 0.382. So why 0.382? Because whenever a market is in a strong uptrend or a downtrend, usually market takes support at 0.382, so it doesn't even come to 0.5 or 0.61. okay, so in a strong trend it always stops at 0.382. you can definitely check that on the internet, you will get easily. So 0.382 happens to be 14,366. So ideally this corrective wave, it should actually come to this point, and then the correction would get over and we may see a fresh trend. So this is basically a technical analysis on a monthly time frame based on Elliott Wave theory and Fibonacci levels. So these both analysis says that market can be expected until 14,300 in Nifty. Okay, uh, let's quickly discuss Bank Nifty too. So in case of Bank Nifty, see, it is quite different from Nifty. So this also went upside, but this doesn't look that kind of strong like Nifty. So in case Bank Nifty has to follow through with Nifty, then Bank Nifty can take a halt at this point. So this is somewhere close to, what is the low of this candle? So this is 30,451. Okay, so 30,451, and as per 0.382 level, the low is 31,965, somewhere close to 32,000. So we have already tested 32,000 before, and Bank Nifty is still here. It did not break out and go up to 38,000. So if Nifty has to fall until 14,300, we can expect Bank Nifty to touch these levels. Okay, so is the market turning bullish now, or are we in a bullish stage, or what it is? So basically, if you look at Nifty and Bank Nifty on a monthly chart, from the COVID low that we made, definitely the market is still bullish. Okay, nowhere we can say that uh, the market is bearish, except for the fact that since we moved a lot, the correction is also strong. Okay, but if you look at this on a bigger time frame, no one can say that the market is in a bearish mode. It clearly indicates a pole and flag like kind of a pattern. With slow and steady, it may give a breakout. So, but this is a very good opportunity for people who missed the entire rally at this place. It is a good opportunity for people to enter here. So this entire place, definitely you should consider filling in all your orders, like what the big players do. They keep the market in a range and fill their orders. So this is your range, like from 14,300 to almost 16,000. This is your range. So whenever the market stays within this range, you should definitely be able to fill your orders. It can be stocks or it can be ETFs. So this is the overall bigger picture. So the bigger picture says that market is in a corrective phase and it is not bearish. Okay, now we'll discuss like what can happen further. So right now Nifty and Bank Nifty stands uh, in a monthly candle at this place. So will it continue to go up, or is it that it is going to come for 14,366? So it will not come directly to 14,366, because on a smaller time frame, again an impulsive wave and corrective wave formation is definitely always there. So how do we identify that? How can be the correction? So in this case, in Nifty, if you look at the weekly chart, the weekly candle seems to be strong the previous week, and this is just a halt candle and an inside candle. Okay, so it can definitely give a breakout and even attempt this area, which is close to 17,000. Okay, and then it may again take a U-turn and fall back. Here the only problem is, since Nifty approached 15,200, okay, it made a low somewhere around 15,200. It was an easier task for it to go to 14,300, because it was just about another 900 points fall. But it did not continue, but it stopped the fall and it started going up. So hence there is always a chance that it can return from 17,000 and it can still go and test this level. So does the market respect all these levels? Yes, it does, but at the same time it's not necessary. So for that reason, we always depend on the uh, data, the FI data, the pro data. So that is one of the reason why we read them. So right now the structure of the market, it looks like it is going to go for the upside. 16,400 is an important level. So if that is taken out, then definitely we are going for 17,000. Okay, so on a weekly chart, in this case, so we have a doji in Nifty. So what happens usually in a doji? If the high is breached, you go long, and if the low is breached, you go short. Okay, because doji is an indecisive candle, that means market was in a range, so we trade the range breakout either on the upside or on the downside. But market is not that easy. It will not open flat and give you that easy kind of a breakout. Either it will open with a gap up or it will open with a gap down. So the chance of entering in the market is very less. So obviously, since it is opening as per the trend but with a gap up, then there may be a situation where we'll have to take a trade against the trend. So that's the problem. So the market always confuses us, and whenever it goes up, it usually goes with gap ups, and you hardly get trading opportunity. And what about in the daily time frame? Let's quickly discuss that also. So in a daily time frame, if you look at the structure here, so this is a structure which we discussed before. So market falls and then a gap down, then eventually the gap gets filled, then it comes back, okay, again a gap down. So this is a similar kind of a pattern that we can see here. Okay, after a gap down, it retraced up strongly. So again here the market is going to do the same thing. So there's another chance that it may break this particular trend line and go down further. So will that happen is $1,000,000 question. So we will definitely track this trend line, and whenever this trend line breaks, despite of it going higher and then coming back, and if it is breaking this particular trend line, obviously the trend changes and it may fall further down. It may test 15,200, and then if it breaks, then we may straight away go for 14,800, then 14,500, and 14,300 eventually. Okay, so what does the data say about all these things? Let's quickly check out the data too. So if you look at the data here, just a second. So as per the price action on a smaller time frame, okay, here if you see, we have already started making a higher high and higher low kind of a pattern, which is a bullish pattern. So this looks good, and some data confirms this price action and some data is totally against this price action. So we'll talk about that. So what exactly it is? So basically, okay, let me just show you, or let me just put a Fibonacci retracement. So we'll choose the swing low and the swing high. Okay, so this is index future, hence this looks a little different. But if we do it on the spot, this is low, this is the high. Okay, so so this is again a strong uptrend. Okay, this is not like an uptrend like this. So here you see a lot of confusion, but this is a strong uptrend. So I've just marked the low and the high. So the 0.382 level happens to be 15,860. Okay, keep this in mind. And Nifty exactly took support at that level, so it respected the Fibonacci level. So this is that candle. So the low of this candle is 15,858.20. So just about 1.8 rupees, another extra low, but immediately it stopped and it started retracing. So in a strong uptrend, it usually retraces from the 0.382 level. So now let's get back to our normal analysis. So on a daily chart, it still looks bullish because it is definitely following this particular trend line. Okay, and also it took support at 0.382 level, which we discussed. And SGX Nifty indicates a very huge gap up, somewhere close to 16,215. So a huge gap up that is. So we'll come to that. Let's get back to the data. So what is the data which is bullish and what is the data which is bearish? So though FIs have been selling rigorously in the cash market, but the only positive that I see here is the stock futures data. Though they are selling in the cash market, but they are buying heavily in the stock future. So we discussed this in a video like 3-4 days before, like how the data factors into the market. So we discussed that first it is the index options that gets factored in, and then it is the index futures, and then the stock options and the stock futures. Okay, so if you look at stock futures, This data is from 31st of May. Even before that, the stock futures data was still bullish. So if you look at the difference between the net long and the net short, so it is always net long, and this particular figure keeps on increasing or stays at that place throughout every day, every week, and every month. So this is like almost a 2 months data, and for the stock futures to factor in, it takes near about 2 months. So this is what I think one of the factors why the market is continuously moving up. But the good sign here is, despite of the fact that the market is moving up, yet still they are maintaining this figure to be a positive one. So this is one of the reason why market uh, can go up from this place, or we could consider that the low that was made in Nifty, which was around 15200, that can be a final bottom, considering this data. And it is also factoring in because it's been a long time now, and the market is also going up steadily. But there is only one factor which is affecting this up move, is the FIS positions on index uh, derivatives data. So that is constantly bearish. So if you look at the current data, so as of 15th of July, there is a 1,35,000 contracts of short in index future, wherein the long is just about 26,700. So the difference is net about 1,08,452. Okay, so this data, when it falls below 50,000 and stays constantly below 50,000, say for a couple of weeks, then that means that we cannot expect the market to uh, break 15,200. That will be for sure. So right now, looking at the stock futures data, 60 or I would say rather 70%, it is indicating upside, wherein the 30% is the problem from the index futures. So either they should short cover this, or the market has to factor that in. Okay, they cannot just keep on adding shorts every day. So the conclusion is, as per the technical analysis, as per Fibonacci retracement, as per Elliott Wave theory, the market definitely has not made a bottom. The exact figures are still pending. Like Nifty, we discussed 14,366, and for Bank Nifty, we discussed somewhere close to 30,500. So these levels are still pending, and the market can test those levels. But since we are short-term traders, we'll have to go with the flow, and we may have to factor in all these things, and based on that, book your profits. Okay, so I think we took about 18 minutes here. Let's quickly discuss the intraday levels too, so that we keep it in a single video. Okay, I'm moving back to a smaller time frame. This is Nifty. So let's quickly check about the data based on Friday. So what FIs did on Friday is basically they created some long in the futures, very small quantity, and again they added shorts, and that too a good quantity as of Friday. And if you look at the options, they are net long on call and net long on the put side. And similarly, if you look at pros, they have also added shorts in the index future, and they are net long on call and net short on put. So this figure indicates that we may see volatility tomorrow. So when I say volatility, that means we can expect a moment like this, a strong up and strong down, considering the net long being on the both side of call and put for FIs. Secondly, we are opening with a very big gap up tomorrow, so that is again a trend deciding place. And also HDFC results are out, and it has posted a decent result, so we need to check out how tomorrow the market factors in that result, like is it going to change the trend completely? Or so to change the trend completely, how will that uh, how is that something which will come to know is basically we need FIs to cover their shorts, okay, in the index futures tomorrow and within the coming week. If they start covering their shorts, like say 20,000 in a day and 15,000 in a day, if they start covering the shorts like that and keep on adding longs, that would give us an indication that they are positive in stock futures, and now they are also positive in index futures. But people who missed the lower levels to invest, don't worry about it. Market doesn't move in a straight direction. So if at all, like I said, that 16,400 is an important level. So if it is going to 16,400, that means definitely the market has started making this kind of a price action pattern. So if it is going to 16,400, it is definitely going to give a dip until 16,002. So the low that Nifty made was somewhere close to 15,200 to 15,250. We are just going to buy near 16,000, which is just about 700 to 800 points above. So that is still a very good place to invest. So if that's the case, once we get a dip near 16,000, definitely you all should think of investing in specific stocks or the ETFs. Okay, so I have invested near 15,200. In case if I see a correction like this, I'll keep on adding it, or in case if it breaks the low, I'll still keep on adding it until 14,300. So that's how it is. Now quickly let's discuss the intraday levels. So if you look at the intraday levels, Nifty has given a close near 16,050, just at the resistance. Okay, and so a flat opening and breaking of this range will immediately take Nifty to 16,150. This is the first target, and then we have a level around 16,250 to 275. And based on the SGX Nifty's current position, so tomorrow morning it may change, but definitely this place is going to be a resistance area where Nifty is going to open up. Okay, because we already have a gap here, and previously we started falling from this place. So again we may open somewhere here and we may find resistance. So what we'll do here is, if we open with a huge gap up as expected, and if the first candle is not a very big candle in 5 minutes, then we'll wait for the first candle, and if the next candle breaks the low, we are definitely going to buy a put. Okay, we can book some at this place. But usually what happens is, whenever there is a gap up, the market takes support at PDH, PDC or PDL. Okay, in this case the PDC and PDH seems to be the same place around 16,050. So we can expect the market to come to this place, or what can happen, so there are two things. So either the market will open gap up and slow and steadily it will come and fill the gap, okay, and then move sideways within this range, or what the market will do is it will give a dip until this place, and slow and steadily it will change the price action and it will break the day high. So if that's the case, if it is breaking the day high, definitely we'll go long. Will take an SL in our put, because by the time it comes to this place, our SL will be definitely somewhere at the cost, or even at a trailing profit level. So if it hits and breaks the day high, we are definitely going on the long side, and we'll look at the upper levels until 16,400. Okay, so that may not come tomorrow, but at least in a couple of days time. So this is what I'm looking at in Nifty. Just in case of a flat opening, definitely we'll look at a buy. In case if it gives a dip until 16,000 also, then we'll buy a call here, and here also we'll buy a call, and the first target is 16,150. Selling should be only below this level, which is around 15,930 if I'm not wrong. Let me just check that. Yeah, 15,940 you can consider. So below 15,940, we can expect a strong downfall until 15,800 in Nifty. So until that, we are not buying put anywhere despite of any other position, but only place where we are buying put is in case of a huge gap up, and that too when we see an immediate break of the first candle is when we enter in the put side. Now let's quickly check out Bank Nifty. So Bank Nifty, these are the levels for Bank Nifty, and Bank Nifty is basically following a trend line. Let me put that trend line here. So you mark this and you adjust this. Okay, so this is the trend line. So 1, 2, 3, again an attempt 4. So this time it has managed to close here. So in case of a flat opening, say around 34,650 to 700, and if it breaks this high, you need to buy a call. Your immediate target happens to be 34,990 or 35,000, and then it should break this level. Then we would wait for the level 35,200. Okay, so 35,200 was an important level because market tried to hold this level for a long time. Like if you see here, okay, so it actually put a head and shoulder kind of a pattern here, and then it broke it. So this is a very important level. So we would want to see what Bank Nifty does, because it should give a closing somewhere to this place, and then it should break this level. So tomorrow, in case of a flat opening, we are definitely going to buy a call, and in case if it opens flat and gives a dip until say 34,500, then also we are going to buy a call. But in case if you're buying call at 34,500, you just have to put a stop loss of 40 points in the spot, and if it hits, then we'll have to shift back to put, because the downfall can be fast, because the market is definitely going down each and every time. People are trying to hold the market up, but it is failing every time. So this failure can hurt the sentiment and the market can go down fast. We can definitely see 34,380 and then 34,150. 34,380 can be achieved tomorrow. Even 34,150 can be achieved tomorrow if that uh, fall expected is according to the plan. But in case if we open gap up, so 35,200 is an ultimate resistance. So in case Bank Nifty opens at this place, the first candle should be a red candle, and if the next candle breaks the low, definitely you can buy a put here, and your first target should be 34,900. Okay, a 300 points fall is something which we'll look at, and then the market can be sideways, so we'll avoid any trade at that time. So this big gap up can put the market into a confusion, because a lot of shorts will be trapped and the market can remain sideways. So tomorrow's day can be a difficult day for the algo too, but for the people who are running the algo, we'll definitely run the algo. And in case if we feel, or if I feel that the market can go sideways, I'll definitely inform. We'll give a small stop loss, like maybe 1,000 rupees or something, and we'll exit the position. Okay, thank you for watching. Let's meet in another video. Till then, take care. Bye bye.